Nonsia abo ene eye efiada ye mamunyina adwo emama kwaba edeba MBN kasamfoni so ye kamu se enwume nonsia kase aye nsa kan enesima bese aduanan num eda enum die ye de eba abesom wo nemom ewo Kasiebo imu no osemufo atimi asem eniti Ghana ensem wom sanso ena agudie ensem afei oman mu ensem a ekotwi kobrema nyina no osemufo atimi aboaboa no amana ne ensem so eka saa kase yi ho nemom ewo anwumre yi mu Kasiebo no naposo no ene de em sei na ebeye Omanpanyin John Dramani Mahama enam ne mpanyifo so ene dey womo edi 24-hour economy nhyehyede a womo peso de bu man no akowura mu emrahye badwafie edi ato owura Alban Kings for Small Bagbin anim Ghana Integrated Iron and Steel Development Corporation from GSDEC and a day omo Asia scrap dealers ewo my Ghana mu e de hyehye egu ho a pombe fa so mbetina toto niema hema scraps ewo my Ghana mu no omatimi nya so mfa so de ewa manani sisi ade omo atwa nanam ewo Asiedu ewo oyekire kesi a ekoso ewo Kenya memu etia eto bi a omanpanyine de ba ya atimamufo so mo mpene no afei wei ne ensam ahodo eka ho ena wosemufo no na nyimire watimi aboaboa no hede ama yese yemfa besom ne mum mame mfa nko YouTube mpacho eno eye MBN 360 mpacho eye YouTube sanso ena de bibinti yentimi nko Facebook ne so ne mum simaduanan enum edi yanum miambe de dwumade nyina ho kyeame ena nyimire medin enti Bekwainii Abrantie Oheneba Asiedu afei asem no enkyeremu enie ene day nyankopon ayi eye epoma kwan mu ema abrewan so ede ne de aka ho hema ye papa John Dramani Mahama so beka ya afei empim mienu ene aduoni nan ade ana da wo makoma so pa eye 24-hour policy na eno ene day ya me no kasa die ejabo eja enya abedrum empanyufo atimi ede krata no ene afei eho ensem nyina no akwakodan emrahye badwafo ene day ya ye kasa yi no ena ansem ni nyina ekotum mu ewo papa ye friend Alban Kings for Small Bagbin wono ena waje sa policy document we na abra waje ye no ensem odi tu dwa no sei na emu nsem no etie.
On Wednesday the 2nd of July, His Excellency President Mahama will launch the 24-hour program and accelerated export development. The program is made up of 3 anchors: production transformation, supply chain and market efficiency, and human capital development. And those anchors are supported by 8 sub-programs. Grow 24, which is the agricultural component, Make 24, which is the manufacturing component, Connect 24, which is the supply chain component, Aspire 24, which is the mindset change, the resetting of the Ghanaian, equipping the Ghanaian worker, Ghanaian bureaucracy with a strong and powerful attitude to productivity and to work skills. Because without that, we cannot achieve the design of reset that is the ambition of all of us in the country. And Show Ghana is about the rich, diverse culture that we as a country possess, and which identifies us as who we are and also establishes our historical legacy and the importance of that legacy to our diaspora, and also in terms of the varied and most powerful cultural forms, both literary, both in terms of dance, in terms of food.
Keep everybody on board. Once you start categorizing this matter, either on partisan or religious or ethnic or whatever basis, then we haven't got it. We have to make it a national program. One of the things I've proposed is the fact that after the launch, it might be presented to the people's representatives to give the official stamp of approving it, which meant that we have to have the opportunity to debate it and approve. Then we get the buy-in of all the organs of government.
After yentu akase no so na yewura ensem foforo ma se obekaya be se bosome entemu eni ena anese fa omo my Ghana mu edito eye Ghana mpanyufo nyina anim se kopi se o ma de o makoma so betimi ayama wo mu no enya de o mbekọ ayare sabia na afi o ma hwa ayarefo ne sentine ene dai emrase bedwafie opanyina wo no ena o ye emrase bedwani ewo eye Nandam hono abo eye Nawani Ket Mark ono ena de wogina mu ema mrase bedwafo na afi o mu hia anesefo akuo ena afi finance ministry so empanyufo etimi hia wo mu na abra saa eye akuo ehia ye no wo mu de ntutuye etoto fom ena afi o mu ye o madwen se eniema enkoye ewo man mu bia no eyade on betimi aka na afi saa strike na mpanyufo akotena se ewo fie no wo mu ne anesefo no ebetimi ahia na abra o mu hia ye no emu nkyemu no sei enana etie.
I want to thank you very much for giving me audience at this short notice. Members of the Fourth Estate, you recall that on the 12th of June 2025, the Select Committee of Parliament called a meeting to discuss the ongoing strike by Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association of Ghana. In attendance were the Nurses Association, the Ministry of Health, led by the Minister himself, the Ministry of Finance, led by the Deputy Minister, and the Director of Fair Wages Commission. At the end of the meeting, the nurses reduced their demands to 4. Payment of 8% on basic allowance to all nurses, fuel allowance which they estimated will apply to 5,300 nurses of a certain category, uniform allowance increased from 400 Ghana cedis to 1,000 Ghana cedis, and the fourth one being research and book allowance, also to be paid to a certain category of nurses. They estimated the number to be about 900. At the end of the meeting, the Ministry of Finance requested for some time to study their demands and carry out an economic and financial impact analysis and report back. It is within this context that a meeting was rescheduled for 2 weeks. That is today, the 26th of June 2025, to discuss the outcome of the analysis. They are unavoidably absent from the jurisdiction.
Meka we say when you go so awhwe anyime no nsia kase e wo MBN kasamfoni so afa yemfiri eho na yewura ensem fofrom oswafo a wono e na wohwe nkitahode ensem so e wo man ganem na afa so wosan yem na sebedwani e wo ningo prampram ono onyamfo Sam Jata George ene dey wode agina emrasebedwafie aka kire masebedwafo se enanu ya ena radio stations and TV stations bi wo man yi mu a wo mu fa akwanbone so na afa wo mu ntimi enri ni wo mu nkrata awosada ne dan nyina wo mutimi ede eye adwuma ne science no eye National Communication Authority mpanyufo hey wo madwen se obi biara a watimi edifo ewasa aya ahyede we mu bia no eye ade a yebetoto wo mu radio stations nim na me no kasa de Honorable Sam George ade abeto na sebedwafo nyina anim se ye de akonya ne saa ma saa nkofo no nenso omamfa dogo anye eye soan bia ne science no sisi a me no kasa yi ensem we na Sam George e ka kire ma sebedwafo.
FM stations were directed to cease operations on 18th of February 2025 by the National Communications Authority because they did not have valid authorizations as required by Section 24 of the Electronic Communications Act 2008, Act 775. The stations were Fire Group of Companies Limited operating on 90.1 MHz in Sunyani, Isa Consult Limited operating on 89.7 MHz in Tamale, Abu Channel Media Group operating on 105.7 MHz at Adidome, Ochiami Radio Limited operating on 99.7 MHz in Bekwainii, Mumin Bono Foundation operating on 99.7 MHz in Techiman, and Osikeni Community FM operating on 99.7 MHz at Nkrankwanta. It is important to note that prior to taking the enforcement actions, Mr. Speaker, all the affected FM stations were given the opportunity to renew their expired authorizations, but they failed to do so. However, the authorizations granted to the 7th radio station, Guma and Sons Limited, to operate a commercial FM station at Boku on 104.9 MHz was suspended on national security considerations based on a request from the Ministry of Interior acting on the advice of the Upper East Regional Security Council. However, Mr. Speaker, all the other 6 radio stations have since resumed operations after they rectified their infractions. Thank you.
Afei yetwa kase ne so a oye ohyen kafo bi ayem fun so a waye hede yen kopiem ewo woti mantem ho a amasesi ade abusua bi a wododo esi enan o ma ato anananom ewo ensiedo na ne nyina ne se ohyen kafo bi a oye na dwense nka oye overtaking kakra ewo eye dambai ene esukokko kwantempo ne so na saa ekuro yi ewo eye woti mantem ho na sanfo so kese ya woye ye ofidikafo no ama obatan ne ne mamiensa ato anananom ewo ensiedo enne arahosema yensa kan enne enwumre ekirese nkwanhia kese bi asi ewo dambai ene esukwakwao a ewo oti mantemu ama sisi ayekasa de nipa nan atoa so ahwere wo mu enkwa na ne nyina ne se yese kia rhino bi a na wono oso a passenger nipa mako enan eye obatan oba besia ene ne mamiensa eka no ho ne yese abra kia rhino no esi kwa so no waye na dwense enko betimi ayi overtaking bi nanka afei watimi atiesi kwan foforo nanka wafaso no wako yesi abra wo yi ni ti enam kwan no so ape na afei otisi kwan foforo mu no na okohia design car bi na eno so ba eno so di americantenta na odin pa ya yesi fofia ntwata na nkofo atimi adware abamo kia rhino ye ene design no ekasi ani a itire ekohia ya sisi ame no kasa dia amunumu ho a maame ene obatan ne ma ne nyina o mato na nanom ewo nsiedo neno na a police 40 asem ya ntentem na omso timi uti wo mu ho egu ekwan so a omkokɔhwɛ ya omma nkofo ma prepra no so hedom kogu ayaresabia na sisi aye no kasa dia yeso ofidi kafo a ono na wotwi kia ride no de sisi ame no kasa dia wo prepra emu odin paaye ne mom enipa nan a oye obatan ne mamiensa ne de omo atwa na nanom ewo ensiedo Mika we say we eye efiada boja ye Kasiebo ene ye de brew ewo MBN kasamfoni so ye be kina we so na fe yakogye ye gaton de kakra aba ye ba na fe ye de dwade kase e de abrew ye ba sisia
amu wanfa kede ma ya habasa mekwa koto hey boy mumjemra ago oh aja kofi asamba na meka kire mu kede ma ya habasa oh ya bra oh se meka kire se me ba na ma ya habasa mu fia oh enne ye am yin
Eni da ho no onia mentwen masasem we ebinto jenentem na got Tespon Estate Limited se wo asase eye won kasa wo dia our register ama so twembi eni so a ana sempo o hyeden si ase eni we do lentil level ana se roofing level mpo a de wo hiane se obekọ Tespon Estate Limited akopeki form na wa file no mo no be yen hyehyei na odi fie dunum etua no mo si wudan na ma ho eno ane no hwehwe mo kira kwan omo wakra achimota omo ben Adat Water Services in Chainpay from Oheneba Asiedu 0549642177 Tespon Estate Limited Mama Desi aka photo
afei mame ma wakwaba na adwade kase ayensa kan na nwumre no yensan emfanto awoso yemfa nkopiem ewo the Ghana Integrated Iron and Steel Development Corporation yetwanitia eka se GSDEC na enedai omaye enhyiamudie bi omatonsa afre Ghana fo nyina na ne titiru enkofo mtonsa afre omo Scrap Dealers Association a omo ewo omai Ghana yimu na ne nyina no echese ekwan befa so ombetimi ede yi ato yie na afe ye iron and steel industry ewo omai Ghana mu no yetimi ahwe so yie asam no nchemu no sei netie
ne omo sisa na de make Scrap Dealers And so who scrap dealers are omuya jumakuo bi a omu hia pa omu hia ma o man no na adwuma no so a omoye no esombo pa na bretintin ni omu aye adwuma no akwesa aban eni omo so enti aban hwe omo aban ka asem bia enkyere omo enti wo sore nde na so koye scrap dealer na wokọ eba sa akura mpempi ye nya report ye hu TV so omu so nkrofo we omo ya kromfo but na ntisa ebi kura se o omo say ade ebinom se omo adwuma omo ye mra bia mo ho ban enne yakọ Ghana afana nyina ene omo ye sa adwuma ne nyina akwa akodi ehyiamu aka akire omo so omo adwuma no aban ehu adwuma no omo ye no wosi ehu mmoa omo ede boa oman no ama ye steel industry no etumpon enti aban pese omo tumikrata no beboa omo ama omo ankasa agi atumu se omo ye adwuma ehia eto da bi kura na so omo de ndema no kura ba police ni timi hia omo wa hu se tumikrata bia na so nti na sebi akoye se sikagie bi kura abam omo complain sa bebre eto da nso kura na so omo ne na monsesa ade na se de bi dika kan no obi tumi ba ozi na we num so omo firi he omo wiawi ade enam so omo ni tumikrata enti enne ye do omo nyina hia wo man mu no enne dai ene ye frem panfo no omo da no so omo mra office ha sei na djuma di a ye pese ye di sa ban pese omo tumikrata no ye no omo antwetwe ho nkobo enti hia mo ye hia ande no akoye se ye ne scrap dealers no ene sabi omo to scrap no ankasa no ye frɛ omo omo bai ene ohu B5 fo mpayimfo no nyina omo de no companies no omo no mba ha no ferro fabrics omo ba ha rider steel omo ba ha omo do so bebre omo ya association ene omo ayi omo association mpayimfo no ama omo aba enti ye nyina aba be di nkomo a sabi wo hwe nkomo no so ayedi ye no a e ko yie pa aye ni GSM ama obi a se ewom se bibia wo ne bre ebe ene bre aso sa aban se wo hu adwuma a omo ye obema omo tumikrata omo de be ye adwuma ma hu se nkomodi no omo ani age
na ewa ensem fufuro ma eye adwadie kase no nso ye san wura mu a sisi ade ani gisem na Ghana fo yate enti atadwe ya we ate edew ena ni nyina ne se empanyifo omo hwe ya nyina ma ahoden nsem so ewo man Ghana yimu na afa jaman man no so atimi aka bom a sisi electric charging point a eye solar na da ne da nyina so wutwika na so pese wo charge a yatimi apa ho ntoma sisi ewo man yimu na no na opanyina wono na wo hwe ya nyina ma ahoden nsem so ewo Ghana man yimu a ye fere yewura Abdullah John Jinapo wogina simpie so no wode abasebode kese ede ma Germany aban no na afa Ghana aban so matimi ayesa anwanwade wei na ebetimi aboa ama Ghana yanyina hoden nsem no so no etimi agina ne naso se pim asa agina ne naso na abra wogina simpie so wone Ghana fo kasa no onwura eye John Jinapo ede nsem wei eto Ghana fo nyina anim.
Launch, I'm told, is part of a broader and ambitious strategy being spearheaded by my ministry, and I endorse this strategy to modernize public transportation in Ghana while tackling critical challenges such as urban pollution, high transportation costs, and dependence on imported fossil fuels. As we implement Ghana's energy transition framework, sustainable development has emerged as a cardinal pillar of our national energy policy. Our actions are deeply aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals, particularly Goal 7. And I know Goal 7 talks about clean, sustainable, reliable energy for economic development, which my speech says it advocates for affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energies for all, and Goal 13 on climate action. The Ministry of Energy and Green Transition is committed to promoting clean energy alternatives, and this electric vehicle charging initiative illustrates and confirms our resolve to meet our climate obligations, improve air quality, and build a resilient economy driven by innovation and low carbon technologies. Ladies and gentlemen, the launch of this EV solar charging station is a critical milestone, but it's also the beginning The success of this initiative depends on the collective effort of government, the private sector, development partners, and the general public. We urge all transport operators, investors, and stakeholders to join us in driving this transition forward. Let us work together to scale this infrastructure.
Na e was sansem kronemu eno na ye reginapo ade to Ghana fo nyanim se sisi ade oswafo biara wo NDC amemo yi mu a o papa John Dramani Mahama ana yi ne no wo mu de ehyen a eye electric vehicles enu tin ba biara obi abedu bia no obetimi agya no de anyinam nkane a atimi a charge na wogina ne simpie so na afi wo ka kire Ghana fo se ebasa ebeboa ema enwisi a efrika to na ese ye mpotem ni ewiem no ni nyina eto ebetimi atwa hono abogina po ede nsem wei atudwa.
It's indeed an honor and a privilege today to be here to launch the EV solar charging station here at the premises of the Energy Commission. Indeed, today marks a significant step forward in Ghana's commitment to sustainable energy development and clean mobility. All along, I've always known that you use electricity from the grid to charge your vehicle. But now we are taking it a step further, where you will use solar to charge your vehicle. And for me, that is very, very important. It means that we are completely pursuing renewable energies. And when you use the grid, sometimes the power could come from fossil-based fuel plants and other sources. And so even though you are not burning petroleum products directly, you are indirectly burning petroleum products, because as you charge the vehicle using the national grid, we consume a lot of liquid fuels, a lot of gas, and other alternate fuels. But when you charge using solar, it means that it's all green. And for me, there's a cost benefit. What I see is that you don't need battery stations, because you charge during daytime and you use the vehicle throughout. And with the vehicle I have, it's a small electric vehicle. Maybe depending on how I use it. But when I charge it, it takes me up to a week to drive within Accra. I was in China where I saw Huawei, their vehicle, in 5 minutes, the car is charged.
Meka we say ha ana ebrebe kwan ma afi dwadie kase a yensa kan no ene fiadan no ha ana edi besi medane me ho aba na afi me ba me de eye amanone nsem abesori kase ne so ya basisia. Yewie kase no ewo eye Nairobi a eye Kenya eye kuro kase mu ewo ebibima mu ha na eno na enipa dunsia sisi ame no kase die enam se tu agina no ye kire kase eti a aban a ye frɛ no William Ruto ne nhyehyɛde bia wɔde ba ye nti sisi ame no kase yi apolisifoɔ ne asrafoɔ aye o madwe so mu di ensuohye na afi etuo atimi abawura nipa ma me no kase yi enipa dunsia ahwere omo enkwa ewo Kenya man mu. Amanane nsemu yade wuram ewo Kenya man mu a sisi a ye no kase ye kire kase a ekoso ewo Kenya man mu na hinkura ye frɛ ne Nairobi enam so ema asrafoɔ ne apolisifoɔ ato ahye edom a wo mu eye ye kire no so ma sisi a ye kase idie enipa edunsia ato ananom ewo asamaido na asem ni nyina nkyeremu no ekire se afi atwemu no na Kenya man panyin a ye frɛ no William Ruto wade etuo bi eto temamufo so senko mbetimi agege e de afri temamufo ho na timi aboa amampuntudwuma atimi akoso na no na yese temamufo ehu se etuo bi eba no omo se omo empene ne na anya ade a ochena so atimi eka ho ne sentini efri afri twam na bepem sa abre yi no temamufo ate omo ho agu emontene so omo ye oye kire kese e de atia aban no se nya ade omo betua sa etuo no na hwehwemu atimi abeda di mpo se aban mpo atimi atie temamufo ne so ama sisi a ye kese de wayi etuo no de afri ho nanso ne nyina mu no temamufo eda so egina bonten a wo mate omo ho aguso se enema bi wo ha wo mo ntina ho ema enfofo emedane wo mo akwaye sisi a me no wo kese yi asrafo ne apolisifo nso atie agu semafufo so a sisi a me no wo kese eye water cannon anase insuhie na afi tear gas na sojafoɔ ne asraafoɔ ne apolisifoɔ no ahwie de agu timamufoɔ so enam so ma sisi a yɛkasa yi deɛ enipa edunsia atoa nananom na no na ɔmampanyine aka kyerɛ ne nkɔɔfo nyinaa sɛ adwebrɛ ɔno ana ɔka sɛ waka na sisi a de nya de obetimi awe ne sɛ nti no ɛtoɔ no wɔyɛ afiri hɔ timamufoɔ sɛ kɔpem sɛ asojafoɔ ne asraafoɔ ne apolisifoɔ betimi akɔso no nso timi de deɛ ɛsɛ ato deɛ ɛtoɔ no enya de a wɔn nso bɛte wɔn ho ase. Na ebrebe ma yekwan ma anyimre no nsia efi adakase ayensa kan ye no a wosebufo no boaboa no no na ebrebe ma yekwan ama yede ni nyina asi ne mum ansa na yebesore so no ewo efi ada anyimre kase no so no emu nsem no sei nana etie Omanpanyin John Dramani Mahama enam ne mpanyinfo so ene dey womo edi 24-hour economy nhyehyede a womo pese mo de bu man no akowura mu emrahye badwafie edi ato owura Alban Kings for Small Badmin Enim. Ghana Integrated Iron and Steel Development Corporation from GSDEC and a day omo Asia scrap dealers ewo my Ghana mu e de hyehyeye egu ho a kombe fa so mbetima toto niema hema scraps ewo my Ghana mu no o matimi nya so mfa so de ewa manani nsemo no enipa dunsia na asisia de omo ato ananam ewo Asiedu ewo oyekire kesi a ekoso ewo Kenya memu etia eto bi a omampanyine de ba ya timamufo se omo mpene no na ebrebe ma ekwan me de kase ni nyina asi memfa na ase kese hemfama SA Stanjay na Daroma no akofa mattress papa e de aba wo man yi mu se wo pe single mattress double mattress na fe queen size mattress nso ato a ene de ne ho base kwa so beti anya bi ato e wo ho sanso ene time heba be ma wakowura to krobim na se ehyehyewa mpacho tumrika opa awo na wontimi wo a tumrika yi na fa wani eche wo mo asoye wo mo so eka ho bi ena afei Maranatha Power Ministries International na day eye super mega duper watch night mpacho awo na wo pe aware akwantuo Bishop Noble Francis Afoto died, the Bishop of our days and our time. Bray na engosar be buso amanyami ayena duma. Aye 10 p.m. tonight to 4:30 a.m. tomorrow. Bacho umada Roma anu mutimi so yasene. Ame yedi efiada aye kasiye ade ebro. Ne momi amedi kasiye nyina ho kyiame na nwure medin. Ede Bekwainii Abrantie. Oheneba Asiedu. Mami siara menchia wo me maame an. Okuasafo a mami kambu erade shaw. No nya kase ante mu Bekwainii afei production team nya yeda mu nyina mase e mamomo ene hwa adehye